her cash, she get the cash, she drop it so fast. She on the pole, she doing her dance. I'm like, mommy, come give me that stance. I'm like quarterback and she a hike. I don't give a reach out for she rockin' the mic. She got hands, she gon' go out of sight. Take the moon and you buck it or not. She from Melbourne and I tell her she can go get her hair permed. She can go get her nails done. Then with me and my crew she can run. She can do no backflips. I know she gymnastics. Working money flip like ass. In the air just for practice. She like oatmeal, just give me one more chance. Will you come back? I'm like, hell no. I'll be gone to November. I'm not December.
Yo, check. Trying to make it back from the streets when it's safe. Focus on the rap game, not the flow, I got it mastered.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're enjoying those fresh beats from Bart Oatmeal, a.k.a. Baron Davis. That was pretty good. Welcome to Who Got Game. I am your host, Jason Zone Fisher. We're going to be joined by many different special guests, like always, coming through the clubhouse. This is the Fun House, the ultimate fantasy sports destination. We're going to be running through the NBA season. The fantasy basketball season is heating up because fantasy basketball playoffs are about to get started in a couple weeks. I faced up head-to-head in our Celebrity Fantasy League against BD's team, and we will reveal who won and how that went down while we preview the upcoming week and talk about all other stuff that's going on in sports, in the NBA, in lifestyle, in the culture. A lot happening. BD will be with us in just a few moments. But first and foremost, let me welcome today and bring him on one of our fellow sidekicks who is here almost every single week, Pavi. Pavi, what is up, my man? Let's bring him on. How you doing? How you feeling, man? I know you were out late last night. It's Grammy weekend in LA.
Man, look, yo, yesterday I had a date I haven't had in years. My homie texted me like, yo, we're going to go to Soul House like with these girls and just have a quick brunch. A quick brunch turned into me getting home at 4 a.m. The only reason I'm here right now is because probiotics and coffee.
Wow. All right. Well, we're always looking for sponsors here on Who Got Game. So you got any probiotic shout outs you want to give? We'll hit them up later.
BioK. Shout out BioK.
Okay, BioK. We're still looking for that Red Vine, those sponsorship dollars after BD was plugging them. Where'd you go last night for the Grammys? And did you watch any of the Grammys? I know Grammy weekend in LA is always fun, but it sounds like you were about the brunch and the party scene. Did you watch any of the show?
I didn't see a second of the Grammys at all. I saw like Little Baby's performance after the fact. I saw like a clip of it.
Okay.
We got invited to, it was like one of our homies' 40th birthday party, who I've known for like 10 years. And like, I mean, it was cool. Like they had COVID testing, at the door. So I felt like safe. It was cool. Most of it was like outside, just hanging out, just chilling. I mean, it was really great to be out and hear music that I didn't play. Yeah,
for sure. Well, it's a Grammy weekend in LA is always so much fun. You know, there's so many parties and events. It is the Super Bowl for musicians and the music industry. It's like NBA All-Star Weekend, but for music. And they celebrate all different genres, from hip hop and rap to country music, pop music. I mean, everyone is here. And normally it's some of the best parties of the year. I was home because that's what you do when you got a 2.5-year-old daughter, you know, during lockdown. But I missed going to Grammy parties and having days like you just did. Although I'm feeling refreshed right now. It sounds like you're struggling a little bit.
I'm again, like I said, probiotics and coffee. Probiotics, I'm good. I'm perfectly fine. I'm here.
Okay. All right. All about those probiotics. You are bubbly. That's right. Now, your other co-host, you're obviously one half of the duo on the popular HNB Hoops and Brew podcast and show. Your other co-host, who is an incredible producer, TPJ, is in the building as well, and he's going to be joining us. Here he is, TPJ. Oh, talking about another guy who's hungover.
What's up? How y'all doing? Yes, I am very hungover right now. I'm not going to lie, but we're here. This is Who Got Game. We're going to talk some fantasy. I know we were having some arguments before the show, so I can't wait to talk fantasy with you guys. I see Baron is finally arrived in the waiting room. Look at him. He look at all frustrated. I see him.
Let's get him in. Let's get him in here. Oh, wow. Is this like
you mad because your team been losing?
What's going on right now?
Lord have mercy.
So BD,
I thought I had a ringer in my godson. We gotta have a pep talk.
BD. Now, first, how you feeling right now? Because I know you were hosting a Grammy watch party. You were hosting a live screening of this new documentary, which we're going to be talking about later today. So you were having some big events yesterday too, some fun. How you feeling this morning?
Man, I'm feeling good. Yesterday was a lot. I was excited because I got to see the Raymond Lewis documentary. For a lot of people who we don't know out there, is one of the greatest all-time, if not the best player to ever come out of Los Angeles basketball.
Wow.
He, as a guard chasing his ghost, I think a lot of us have always kind of heard, who he is, what he is, and what he did, but to actually see it in this documentary and to really connect and to hear his story, it's just kind of like, this is our Earl Manigault. You know what I mean? This is our Pee Wee Kirkland, you know what I mean? This is our guy. And I think bringing out the greater basketball community in LA, just for this first one, just to get, a couple friends and family there. I think, the next one we're going to do is just, start hearing a lot of buzz. And then after that, obviously the Grammys, I woke up, I don't have, it's in the kitchen right now. But I will have another can, but it's kind of got me in a nice, smooth fade. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm feeling good about myself, but I'm not feeling good about this fantasy.
Well, have you even checked, Sleeper? Have you even checked our celebrity league that we're in and what happened last week? I played you. We went head to head. Do you know the results?
Yeah, I got mocked.
All right, well, go ahead and don't. Fine, you should keep thinking that because should I even tell him, Pappy?
Tell him what happened. Tell him what happened.
He doesn't even know. BD beat me. You beat me. Yeah, you beat me by 1 point. 1 point because Fred VanVleet was out. Bradley Beal rested. All my guys took a night off.
My godson is a ringer.
I don't know about this godson. That's collusion. You're bringing in outside forces. My godson
is a ringer.
You could have beat me on your own. You had to bring in a 10-year-old kid.
I will say, BD, I appreciate you for beating him last week because now me and Jason are tied for second in the league.
Okay. That's right.
We are tied for second in the league.
It was the other league we was in. I let him use that when we lost, but this one, he's on point, dude. I'm telling you, dog. I drafted. This kid is like angels in the outfield meets Billy Bean. Cosimo Lusso, shout out. Love you, kid. Let's keep this winning streak going.
All right, I'm getting my own 10-year-old this week, okay? I'm just finding a 10-year-old off the street, and he's going to help me with fantasy, okay? Whatever it takes. Now, you mentioned the Raymond Lewis doc, and I want to hear more about this project because he really is basketball's best-kept secret. And I don't know enough about him. I want to be educated on him. But I want to bring in our special guest right now because we have his daughter joining us here today. That's right. Kamilah Lewis is joining us. What's up, Kamilah Ray?
Hey. How are you guys?
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here on Who Got Game. And we know some of the Who Got Game was your father, Raymond Lewis. He got game.
Absolutely.
Big game. So
Absolutely.
now BD has looked up to him all his life, as you heard him earlier saying that he's been chasing that ghost. I originally am from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm maybe new to the West Coast hoop scene. Can you educate someone like me and someone out there who doesn't know as much about your father as they should? He is basketball's best kept secret. Tell me a little bit more about your dad and about the documentary project.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So my father's Raymond Lewis. He was drafted in 1973, first round with the Philadelphia 76ers. Because of some contract disputes and negotiations that he tried to have his contract renegotiated, he was ultimately blackballed from the NBA and the system that we know as the NBA.
Yeah.
So we put a documentary together. I've been working on it with two of the other co-producers for about 20 years now. And so
Wow.
it's finally come to fruition. It's a great documentary. It's not just about basketball. It's also about the political game of basketball as well. So yeah, I hope everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, documentaries are a labor of love. They are not an easy
Absolutely.
project. And as you said, you've been thinking about this for nearly 20 years.
Absolutely.
You're also never really done with a documentary. You can always keep editing and tweaking and revising. How did you get it to a place where you finally felt that you were ready to share this with the world?
Well, after we got some footage, we're talking 1970, where basketball, the footage was very hard to get, believe it or not. It was extremely hard to get. Some of the games weren't televised, of course, as it is now. So after getting some footage so people can actually see how good he was, ball handling and a pure shooter, we just felt like it was time to put it out. Since then, we've gotten some excellent feedback and plenty of people calling me and telling me Raymond Lewis stories, but we just felt like it was time to put it out.
What through this process were you most surprised that you learned about your father? I mean, obviously this is your father, someone you probably thought you knew pretty well, but were you surprised by anything through the process of going back, looking at old footage, hearing interviews from other people?
I was surprised that he made so many other teams. I always just heard the Philadelphia 76 story. I was surprised to see him, in other team jerseys. And that was very surprising to me. And then it also was a bit disappointing and let me see how, he made these teams, and because of the legalities around it, the disappointment he must have experienced at that time too.
Absolutely.
Literally about to lace up his shoes and go play and get a call from the front office and he can't. So yeah, those are some of the things that were very surprising to me.
And I'm sure the documentary gets into all this, but why? Why was he prevented from playing? I mean, you alluded to the legalities of it, but why wasn't he able to suit up?
Well, because of a contract. He felt like his contract was unfair. And so he, so one of the guys in the film actually says he was our property. He was a property of the 76ers. They were not going to let him be a star on any other team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the documentary gets into that in full detail as well.
Wow. And, what is it, how does it make you feel hearing someone like Baron Davis and so many other now current LA basketball legends pay their respects, pay homage to your father and the role that he played in the LA hoop scene?
Well, it makes me feel amazing, and just to know that his legacy will forever live on. It's something that he told me as a very young child. He would tell me, Kamilah, make sure you're paying attention. One day you'll have to write my book. And at the time, didn't make sense to me, right? But now it makes total sense,
Yeah.
He had a rich story.
Were there any other documentaries or books or short films, projects that inspired you in the process and the journey of getting your father's story told?
Well, a lot of documentaries. I'm a documentary buff, but just, the stories about Malcolm X, the stories about, Huey P, the stories about, just a lot of our cultural stories that have been coming out. They've always inspired me along the way. A lot of biographies and things of that nature. People who took a strong stance, ultimate sacrifice so that other people can make, the money they're making now and be able to take the stance they're making now. They've always inspired me.
Now, I know the documentary was screened last night, that Baron and Slic put that on. What was the reaction like by everyone who got a chance to see it last night? It
was an amazing reaction. And, Baron put that on graciously. He was a gracious host. And it was amazing. And it's always good to feel that. I feel like it's something he missed, and so I'm able to, pick that up for him. And that's a wonderful feeling.
That's great. What's next for the film? And for more people who might be curious about it and want to get a chance to see it, what are your hopes for it and where might they be able to find it?
Well, it was just screened at the Pan-African Film Festival. So we're, looking into maybe another film festival, but
Cool.
I'm working on his book, and hopefully his movie, his life story is very layered, and I'm hoping people will want to hear more.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear more. I mean, thank you for educating me on your father. I mean, he sounds like an incredible story, so much talent, and so many probably what ifs too. But it's nice that he's finally able to get his flowers, get his recognition that he so well deserves. And I can't wait to see the documentary and see what happens with this too. So, and I'm sure so many other people out there are as eager to learn more about him, about his story, and to see the project.
Absolutely. We've gotten some wonderful feedback. So make sure, Jason, you check that out.
I'm going to. Now, where can people follow you online or on social media? If you look for updates.
I'm on Twitter at Daughter of a Legend, Kamilah Ray.
Daughter of a Legend?
Daughter of a Legend.
I was trying to get that handle for my daughter.
Right.
Take it. Maybe Daughter of a Legend 2. I'll get that.
Daughter of a Legend 2. We're all daughters of a legend in some ways.
As slick as what you got, but I like that. Okay.
So most of my social media handles are Kamilah Ray, with RAE. And also you can go to his website, RaymondLewis.com. Raymond Lewis, LA Legend.
Cool. Amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Well, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Are you a big NBA fan currently? I know you probably have some feelings about how the league did your dad, but what do you feel about the league today? Do you follow it?
I'm an NBA fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm Laker fanatic. I came out a Laker fan. So but I'm an NBA fan and just a fan of the game altogether.
For sure. Well, it's a good time to be a Laker fan right now.
Yes, we're back.
you are back. You're reigning champs, and I think you're going to repeat this year too. But it's exciting. That's what we're going to be talking about the rest of the episode here today. Who Got Game, the rest of the NBA season. Who do you think is going to win it all?
The Lakers.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
of course.
You're a legend. Daughter of a legend. You're a legend yourself. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to bring Pavi back in. Pavi, what's up, man?
Oh. My bad. Yeah, we here. We back.
Oh, he's back. He was just taking more probiotics in the other room. Okay. What's up, Pavi? Now, what did you know about Raymond Lewis?
Actually, the first time I heard the name was when I actually interviewed BD. And BD said Ray Lewis, and I thought that he was talking about like a football player. And I actually went home and Googled it and did research. Obviously, like she said, I couldn't really find footage, but I did go on Wikipedia and actually read the story. And I want to see the documentary. As somebody who was even just being in LA and learning more about LA basketball coach. Obviously, I'm from Chicago, so we have our own coach, Big and D Rose and guys like that. That were city legends, but I didn't know that much about LA high school basketball. I just living out here and trying to absorb the culture and know more about it. I'm very interested to see it myself, so I can't wait till it comes out. I will be tuning in and watching.
Definitely. I mean, I love learning about history. If this kind of stuff were happening today, we'd be all over it with social media. I mean, nothing escapes us. We hear about all these things. This would have been a huge story. But back then, before there was Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and Twitch, and before there was even the And One mixtape tour back in the early 2000s, there were all these incredible stories about playground legends who grinded and made a name for themselves and made it all the way up to the league. And then obviously Raymond Lewis had some, some battles that he had to continue fighting even when he thought and made it. So I'm excited to learn about that too. Speaking of battles that, we got to keep fighting, I did lose this week in fantasy to BD's team. I don't know how that even happened. I'm beside myself. The sleeper app is great because it tells you the percentage chance you have to win. Until last night, I was 99% to win.
For real?
I was like, I got it.
Crying, bro.
Daniel Tice, I had to start. This is sorry ass from the Boston Celtics last night because I had all these injuries. He played a full game. He had 1 assist, nothing. He did nothing. 0.0 1 assist, and I lost by 1 point. Had Daniel Tice sorry ass got a rebound, I would have won.
He went out there and did cardio.
All right, welcome back to MTV Cribs. We are seeing what is in BD's fridge. BD, show us what's in your fridge at the crib. All right.
All right, here we go. What's in the fridge?
What's in the fridge?
Water. Got some hummus, strawberries, tomatoes.
Nice.
All of my sauces.
That's a lot of sauce. You got a lot of sauce.
Hey, bro, I got the sauce. BD has the sauce. Then I go to farmer's market, get my vegetables. You know what I mean? Get my sauces and stuff, and then like Rodman say, Bink go here, then Bink go here. Then you know what I mean?
Okay.
Salt Bay, I do the Salt Bay.
Oh, you Salt Bay your sauce? Yeah, nice. You just get that ranch dressing dripping down your elbow, right onto the salad. I like that. Yeah, that's good. BD, did you ever have back in your playing days? Did you ever have a personal chef who would prepare all your meals for you?
I did for probably like my first. I would say for like 8 years, I had a chef, and
wow,
it was like, you know, there's a discipline to eating. I tell you that, and because, you know, it was like one back then. It was, you know, food was new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nutrition was new, and dudes being vegan and vegetarian, they were considered weird and shit. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know, you have to eat certain things, but like, you know, basketball players, what do they serve at basketball game? Hot dogs, chicken wings, chicken
nachos. Yeah, exactly.
So in the AAU capacity, you growing up eating that. When you in college, what are you eating? Training table. Yeah. Shaky, shit like that. So you don't really know how to eat. And then when I got a chef, it was like really just like learning how to eat. You know what I mean? And things like that. So it changed my whole it changed my whole game, but it made me healthier, you know?
Would you make the menu for the chef, say, here's what I want, or would the chef come to you and say, here's how you should be eating?
She would just cook it, and I'd just be like, yeah. And don't put no salt on my shit. Don't put salt on my stuff.
My boy from college ended up becoming a chef, and when J.R. Smith was playing for the Denver Nuggets early in his career, my boy Lorenz was his personal chef. But he said J.R. Smith only requested fettuccine Alfredo. That's all the man ate.
Respect it.
Well, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. 7 days a week. Fettuccine Alfredo? Oh, my God. That's a lot.
Running off.
That's a lot of that. BD, we're going to get into a lot here today on the episode. We're talking about the fantasy basketball season, setting our lineups for this week, some players that we need to cut, some players we need to watch, the trade deadline coming up, who's going to be on the move. But I also got another pack of NBA Top Shot, and we're going to pop that too on today's.
Okay.
That's right. I mean, we're looking for those LaMelo rookies. Get that money.
I need me a LaMelo rookie.
That's right.
Yeah, LaMelo rookie. What did we get last week that was pretty good? Somebody got dunked on. I can't remember.
Yeah, we got Rudy
Gobert
dunking on Giannis in his face. That was good. And actually, the Blake Griffin that I pulled last week, it's his first moment on Top Shot, and that is a rare thing. So it's actually worth a lot of money.
Absolutely. Well, I can't
blowing up.
I'm gonna be popping in and out. You're gonna see me in the car. I'm gonna do another wardrobe change.
I like it.
About to pop back in like 2 more minutes, going in my car so you don't get disconnected by my Bluetooth.
Okay, I like that. You do it. You go get that sauce. He's gonna go
argue about being in second place because it does not matter.
Look.
It does not matter.
Look.
Here are the standings. You see that Pavi and I are tied for second place, but where's Team Bart Oatmeal? Even when he won, he is tied for 8th. You were in.
I'm on your ass, BD. I'm on your ass, BD. I'm 1 game behind, BD. I'm on your ass. On your ass, BD. Real TPJs, we coming back. We gonna lead the toilet bowl. We gonna lead the toilet bowl. We gonna lead the toilet bowl.
Bottom feeders.
Get to the playoffs. The same thing that happened in fantasy football is definitely going to happen in fantasy basketball.
Don't worry. You ain't got to worry about not getting to the playoffs. It's not going to happen.
Neither one of y'all.
Well, you're gonna need some We Believe Warriors magic. You know, like you.
I will be there in the end. Guarantee.
Yeah, we'll see.
Guaranteed I'll be there in the end.
All right,
BD, we'll see when we get here.
I'm starting to play now.
Is he breaking up?
BD will be in and out.
He'll be in and out, breaking up. But
that's right.
The
man's always on the move. But yes, let's talk about this TPJ because the season is heating up. First, let's get started with some big injury news. Joel Embiid went down, and when he went down, that looked bad. The way that he reacted and the way that it was like a non-contact to his knee, that could have been a wrap on his season. I think Philly is lucky that he's only out for maybe 2 to 3 weeks right now. What was your guys' reaction to that injury?
I'll let Pappy go first.
I was actually watching that game, but then we had started doing a happy hour, and I think we were like setting up for it. And all you
do is probiotics and party.
No. Yeah, I mean, we have you sound like my girlfriend right now. We've made a life and a living off of partying and getting drunk with our friends.
I'm
hating Jason.
Okay.
What am I doing wrong? Damn.
So Jason, you might not know, but we do we have 2 variations of Hoops and Brews. One which is the actual show at the table, and then we have a happy hour version, which is like no script, we just talk. So I'm like walking in and like setting up. I come in, I see Embiid holding his knee. I'm like, first, I obviously pray for Embiid, hope he's okay. Then my second thought was my fantasy team, bro. Pull up my fantasy team and look how many people I have hurt. I don't even know how I'm doing this.
There's your roster right now, Pappy.
Look at how many people I have hurt, bro.
Christian Wood.
Harris LeVert just came back. Christian Wood is hurt.
I spelled Aaron Baines wrong. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Malik Beasley is suspended.
DeMarcus Cousins isn't even on
the team. Like
Gordon Hayward is always injured. That guy's always
but he's been balling this year. Gordon Hayward
has been
very reliable for me this season. I cannot let you disrespect Gordon Hayward on this show because he's been very reliable for me this season.
Well, but he's been good.
But yeah, so most of my team has been hurt. But when I saw it and I saw it again, I was like, okay, I'm not a doctor. And I was like, I don't think he tore anything. And I saw him get up and walk off. I'm like, okay, I know it.
You're not you're not a doctor? You're not a doctor?
I'm not a doctor.
I didn't know that.
Really? We didn't know that.
That's good.
But again, when he got up and walked off, I'm like, okay, it's probably a hyperextension. I guess.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. All right.
But I mean, look. I guess for the Sixers, if one silver lining, you learn to not depend on Joel, and other guys get a chance to run, and other guys get a chance to play. But yeah, it definitely sucks. And it just, I think every year, especially this year, there's so many stars just out. And, you want to see the best players play. And it sucks. Prayers for Embiid. Hope he, gets well soon.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about it or I can quickly.
No,
Jason.
go for it, TPJ.
Terrible injury. I think this will probably end his MVP campaign, which I think more than anything to me is the most disappointing part because I think he was clearly, if not the favorite to win MVP, as close to the favorite as you can get. I think what this actually does is open up the window for Giannis to be able to come through and potentially win his 3rd MVP if they can recapture that number 1. Yes, they can.
No way.
If you look at his numbers are on par with what they were last year. I believe he's averaging more rebounds, and they've basically kind of laissez-faire their way into the season because they wanted to make sure Giannis got the rest he needed. So I think if the Bucks can step up and snatch that number 1 record in the league, and Giannis is still giving me 30, 12, and hold on, actually we got his stats right here. Giannis's stats: 28.9 points per game, 6 assists per game, 11.6 rebounds per game. He's putting up 36.28 fantasy points per game, 1.3 steals and 1.4 blocks. Those numbers are insane. So if he can keep that up, they can get back to the number 1 seed. I think that he may be in line for his 3rd MVP because I really don't see a favorite out there. Jokic is good, but I don't really know if the Nuggets are going to win enough games. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, I think the MVP vote is all about a storyline, too. It's like LeBron could have been MVP so many years, but it's like, it's this guy's turn. It's this guy's turn. I mean, Westbrook, the season he averaged a triple-double, is like, of course, he's the, MVP. But then he did it again the next season.
Yeah, we had an argument about that.
And he wasn't MVP
had an argument about that. Pavy and I had an argument about that because I said I think it's overrated. Like I was saying, I think LaMelo Ball. If they, literally, I said if the Hornets get a top 4, top 5 seed, give LaMelo Ball some MVP votes, and then we having this argument. He's like, well, we start talking about Russ, and I'm like, yeah, what Russ did was great, but then he kept doing it, so it's kind of like. Did he really deserve an MVP for that? But he didn't deserve an MVP for that. He didn't deserve an MVP for that. That's my only point. Sorry, Jason.
Dr. King was alive the last time a man averaged a triple-double.
Yeah.
And Russ is still the only one who's done it. It's not like it's an easy thing to do. If it was, other people would do it. It's very hard. You have to play with so much energy for 48 minutes to average a triple-double night after night after night. He deserved it when he got it.
But does that make you the MVP, though?
Yes, that year, yes.
I'm with you.
Yes, it did.
I'm with you, Pavy.
Who was he going up against that year in terms of like Harden deserved that year? He did. All right, I see BD. BD calling live from the Batmobile. BD, can you hear us?
The most valuable player is supposed to be the most valuable player of the entire league, right? Meaning that player. You can put that player on any team, and he will bring value to that team and make that team contender.
Yeah,
correct.
That's why it's LeBron James this season. I think
it's not LeBron this year. How is it LeBron? He's only missed
one game. He's playing.
First of all, who cares how old he is? Second of all, we care how old he is. Third of all. He's dominating by how old he is. Fourth of all, who's putting up numbers like that for how old he is, right?
Yeah. That make you the MVP. Carmelo did as well. And Carmelo won the MVP. Carmelo won the MVP at 36.
And he won it last year, right?
Who won it last year? Oh, the ring? Him and Anthony Davis. We need to stop taking away the credit from that man.
LeBron should be MVP this year because it's all about storylines. And the voters, I think, realized LeBron would have been MVP last year, but they shut down the voting early when the season shut down. And Giannis got it.
Why? We tell ourselves.
They shut it down.
Yes,
I'm telling
Giannis is blockbuster stats, but there it is. You can't be the MVP and then after that, let's say but
yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? But LeBron didn't win a ring until he was 27. So it was a but on LeBron until he finally won the ring.
Hey, one Giannis is winning way too many MVPs.
Yeah, bro. He's not a 3-time back-to-back.
Come on, yo. Come on, dude. Come on, dude.
No. You are not. You cannot be. LeBron. Yeah. You cannot be MVP 3 times in a row and get booted in the second round of the playoffs.
Yes, you can. Because it's a regular season award. It is a regular season award.
That is not an MVP.
Not 3 times in a row.
It's a regular season award. BD, it's a regular season award.
Here, he's so.
And I'll throw this out here though. Go ahead, BD.
You can't. Come on, dude. Okay, your MVP, y'all get bumped out of the first round. That should knock your ranking down even more. Okay, you had season and y'all number 1. You go knocked out again in the second round. We gonna come back and make you the MVP again for what? We want the MVP in finals, homeboy.
Yeah, but the MVP is a regular season award, though, BD.
How often does the MVP make the finals? It's rare.
The conference finals.
And BD, you of all people, didn't you kick an MVP out of the playoffs?
But he came back next year because he didn't win the MVP. And what did he do? He won it. Okay?
They didn't win the next year.
They didn't win the next year. They won in 2011.
Well, whatever. 2 years later. 2 years later.
That was like 4 years later. Gee. I was in high school. I was a full-on adult when that man won.
TPJ, let me ask you this: the Bucks? How far do you think they'll go in the postseason? The Bucks.
I think it depends on Drew Holiday. I think what we saw was Eric Bledsoe not be as effective when they needed him. He shot, I believe, 34% from the field and 30% from 3 last playoffs. He's your starting point guard, all NBA defender.
Yep.
Jrue Holiday is a different beast, different animal, got different confidence, has a different swagger to himself and everything that he does. I think what the Bucks were missing was someone to take over in the fuck it moments. Chris Middleton, very, very team-oriented basketball player. Giannis Antetokounmpo, very, very team and coach-oriented basketball player. Jrue Holiday has a lot of fuck it in his system. He is just going to shoot and not be like Eric Bledsoe, who got embarrassed by Terry Rozier years ago. Like Eric Bledsoe, if we want to actually look at his career, has been embarrassed damn near every year he's been in the playoffs. So for me to solely base that and put that on Giannis, I can't, because even last year they talking about, oh, well, Giannis should guard Jimmy Butler. Why should a 7-foot tall power forward / center have to go out and guard a shooting guard small forward?
Yeah,
why?
I hear you. I
understand he's defensive player of the year, but I'm just saying, right. Why? Why is that
defensive player of the year? No one else could stop him.
What other seven? Yes, but this is the thing. Other Anthony Davis, what other 7-footer are you asking to go?
Did guard Jimmy Butler though? That did happen. That did happen.
I just say, other than Anthony Davis, what other 7-footer are you telling the squad with
great responsibility?
And I'm just saying also,
but also we also got to act. We also got to remember LeBron James was on the floor with Anthony Davis as well.
LeBron is the MVP because he will guard the best player. He will hit the big shot. He will be that guy. You're not going to say, well, the Lakers, yes,
they win as Anthony Davis did last year. The Lakers were only as good as Anthony Davis was last year.
Can I interject and say two things? One thing, if I get to speak on the Bucks, I think a lot of it for me is just coaching. And when I look at this team the past couple of years, I was not one that subscribed to the fact that this roster was bad. I think that in the half court, especially in winning time, Middleton is your best shot creator. Stop giving the ball to Giannis to the man and run a halfback dive with 18 seconds left on the clock. That's not going to work. Even the game when they played the Clippers, the last play, you know what they did? Jrue Holiday broke the defense down. They swung the ball around. Giannis caught it and dunked it because they actually ran something. They, as so many times, don't run anything. Like just because Giannis is your best player, MVP, doesn't mean he actually has to take all of those shots. That's not what he's great. He's not great at just scoring. You can't just have that down at the end of the game. So for me, honestly, coaching, I want to see what Bud makes adjustments. I want to see can Bud call a play to win a game. That's what I want to see. And if I can just throw this name out there, I know nobody's talking about him for MVP. He's probably not going to win it. But James Harden. No, not around that. Funny. James Harden is having an incredible season. The Nets, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're probably going to end up. I think they're number 2 right now. They're probably going to end up number 1. I would assume because Embiid's out.
Unless the MVP come back and be the MVP.
But listen. KD has been out for like a month. He's probably going to be in and out for the rest of the season. I think James Harden should get some MVP love. He's leading the league in assists. He's averaging like 24 and 12 or something like that. I think Harden needs more love because he's clearly, even sometimes with KD on the court, sometimes look like he's clearly the best player.
Yeah, we actually got some fan comments. Should we see what the fans are saying? Yeah. So the fans say, if Giannis wins a ring, everybody will look back and ask how he ain't win MVP like Bron in 2011. I agree. If they win a ring this year, and Giannis is still putting up equal stats as he did last year, we will look back in history and wonder how he did.
I don't think anybody, did D Rose win in 2011? I don't think anybody in their right mind asked him. People who ask that because of what D Rose became and what happened to him, and then they look at him and say, oh, no, Noah was hurt that year. Boozer was hurt that year. I think Noah played like 60 games that year. D Rose clearly deserved an MVP that year.
Yeah. I'm with MJ Colorless. Giannis is not getting it this year. They're just not going to give it to him 3 years in a row. They're not. I mean,
we'll see. If the Bucks get the number 1 seed overall, I truly believe that Giannis Antetokounmpo deserves to be the MVP again. Like if they can be lax through the first 30 games of the season, still have a top 3 record. He's still putting up numbers on par with what he did last year, and I really don't even believe they've been trying. Jrue Holiday has been hurt and been out of the lineup the majority of the year. And they were losing when he was out. But why? He's the starting point guard. You say that, yes, but I mean that's what he's supposed to do. And they have multiple defenders on their team now on the bench, and they have Brent Forbes as well off the bench, who's a guy that can knock down timely threes. Another big issue with the Bucks last year was teams could zone up, not literally zone up, but like basically pack the paint up against Giannis. he go in there, do the halfback dive, make his little spin-a-rooney into 3 or 4 people. He try to throw the ball out to the wings. Dante DiVincenzo is not a knockdown shooter. Eric Bledsoe is not a knockdown shooter. They did not have knockdown shooters out there last year other than Chris Middleton. They have a lot more knockdown shooters, guys that can play 3 and D and guys that can defend overall. So that's all I'll say on that. I think it's unfortunate Embiid got hurt. It was his award to lose, but now that he's hurt, I think it's wide open to me. And I don't think LeBron's the MVP. They've lost way too much without Anthony Davis. If anything, it proves to me AD is the real MVP of the Lakers.
I'm done. I also do want to say this. I actually think Jokic is actually having the best season out of anybody in the league. But
he is.
But I don't know if, like TP said, I don't know if the Nuggets will win enough games for him to actually get the award. And he's not doing something that we've never seen before, like Russ when he did it. So
yeah. Like Ray just said there, we see his comment. Jokic is balling. I know he's on my fantasy squad in our sleeper league. Every single night he dominates. He's talking about a guy who is averaging a triple-double, one of the best passers in the league, and he's a center, probably the best passing center of all time when it's all said and done. Nikola Jokic, he's getting it done. If the Nuggets can win enough games, make a run, get up in the upper echelon of the Western Conference standings, it could be Jokic's year to win the MVP because he's been doing it since night 1 of the season and consistently, night in and night out.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. But I see we got somebody in the queue waiting. I know this guy's got some opinions on MVP. Go ahead, Jason.
All right, he's got a lot of big opinions. You know him, he's a hip-hop legend. Let's bring him on. Glasses Malone, thank you for coming through and stopping by here on Who Got Game. What's up, Glasses?
What's good, Glasses? Can you hear us?
Man, it's all good, man.
Your video froze, Glasses, but it's all good. We can hear you. We can hear you.
We hear
but your
you.
video froze.
Can you hear me?
Try logging out and logging back in. Your video froze. Sorry.
Yeah. He'll be right back.
That's how it is when you got the live callers. Okay. All right.
We're live and we got a lot of different guests
live.
coming in and out.
Super
so
live.
That's what happens. Like I said, you never know who's going to come through here at Who Got
All right.
Game.
Let's try it now. Glasses, let's see if we can try it now. Can we hear you, Glasses?
That's clear. It's black.
Yeah. Never mind. Log out and log back in for us, Glasses.
He's a hip hop legend, not a Wi-Fi legend.
Exactly.
So we just got to get him on some stronger Wi-Fi.
I won't lie, Jason. Your puns are slowly becoming my favorite part of this show.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you. We'll try to speed that up. It won't be slow.
I won't lie. That's hilarious. But I do have a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
I know that, we've been talking a lot about guys like Harden, LeBron, Jokic. Who do you think has been the actual best player in the NBA this year? Let's see if Glasses works this time. Nope. Still black screen. Go ahead.
I would say Jokic. I would too.
Jokic.
Yeah, he's just consistently doing it. I mean, even Embiid was so great, but he's not as reliable as Pavi. I mean, he's not in the lineup every single night. Jokic is in the lineup every single night and getting this done. Honestly, if Jokic played tonight and scored 27, had 9 assists and 11 boards, I would be disappointed. And that's what he averages. I would be disappointed with those numbers because he is doing better than that almost every single game.
Also, I know people like to talk about Jokic's defense, but if you put the graphic up, he is averaging 1.6 steals. So he is committing something to the defensive end. Even we can go back a couple games ago when it came down to the end of the game where he made the defense stop on Jock. He is, especially after he got in shape, he's competing. He's not that bad of a defender. To me, and when we've had this argument many times, to me, Jokic is the best center in the league. I know what Embiid is doing. Obviously, I think Embiid is better defensively, but offensively, I think Jokic is better. And I don't think that Jokic is terrible defensively. Clearly, he contributes. I think he's like top 5 in steals.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's having an amazing season. What do you think, TPJ? We both say Jokic.
I think the best player in the NBA this year, to be honest, has been James Harden. I think it's been James Harden. I think front to back to be able to come into the season fat, out of shape, not care about it because you want to get traded to a new team. Kevin Durant is out. I believe the fans put the graphic. Put it in the chat that basically the Warriors are 12-1 without Kevin Durant in the last 13 games. That is MVP caliber type of play. But the only reason why he will not win MVP is because Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Blake Griffin are on his team. But I do believe that James Harden this year, front to back, has been the best player. I still think Jokic this year has been the most consistent player, but I don't believe that he's been the best player because their team has not won enough games for me to say that he's been playing the best basketball this year. Personally, that's how I feel.
Some of that comes down to, injuries. There's a supporting cast. They've been without Will Barton. They've been without Gary Harris. They've been without a lot of their role players. Then Jamal Murray has been inconsistent. We haven't seen the bubble version of Jamal Murray.
No, Jason. That's Jamal Murray. Bubble Murray is not.
Glasses is back. Yeah. What up, Glasses? Can we hear you now?
How about this right here?
Yep.
That's
sound
smooth.
Good. Loving that. Yeah, mad player.
I had to turn the lights blue. I think that was messing it up because they was white.
Where are you right now, Glasses? That is you're like
he's in the crypt cave right now.
That's incredible.
No, this is Saturn. I'm on Saturn right now.
Yeah, I was on Saturn. Coming from another planet. Well, no wonder the Wi-Fi was a little janky to start all the way from Saturn.
I've been trying to get it right this whole time. It's been some work though.
Now, I know you got some hot takes about the NBA. You follow the game closely. We were just talking about who should be MVP this season, but also who has been the best player overall. Now, we've said either Patty and I both said that Jokic has been the best player this season. TPJ said Harden. What do you think?
Embiid.
Yeah, we were talking about him, but
because Embiid offensively has been really good and defensively been really, really special. And again, like I said, nobody has been offensively exceptional enough to where defense doesn't matter. There's no Magic Johnsons in the league now where it's that much separation between this fantastic offensive player and a two-way player. So I think Embiid has been the best player this year on both sides of the ball and is efficient. And something you were saying about the best passing big man, Will Chamberlain in 66, 67 might have something to say to that. He might have something to say about that.
That's fair. I think he led the league in assists, right? He had 10, right?
And he passes to a championship. So.
Glasses, why we always got to do this, bro?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Wilt Chamberlain was out there playing against guys, all Jason Zone Fisher.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
In the 60s, he was playing against a bunch of Jason Zone Fishers. No offense, Jason.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Small stature white guys. That's not acting like yes, G.
No offense taken.
Them 10 assists was because they was triple teaming him, and he was just dinking and dunking it off. That man wasn't no exceptional passer. Glasses just be on here talking that crazy stuff. Even when we talking about Bob Cousy over Steph Curry. No.
What?
I think you're not. So again, I think context matters in this situation. If you're comparing a player today to a player then yes, you'll feel how you feel. That's almost retarded. It's like comparing human beings now to human beings, and it's just crazy. You shouldn't do that. But we might be a little
stupider now than they was back then.
But all you could talk about is the dominance over the league. And if you take, you talk about Will Chamberlain in that season, I think it was around 9 or 10 assists he averaged. In the playoffs, he averaged 9 assists. Finals, he averaged 9 or 10 assists. Passed his way to a championship. It makes you think maybe all those years of hot dog and was it worth it?
Yeah.
Glasses, real quick.
Why you gotta get into
it. Jason,
why you gotta do that?
Who did you say should win MVP?
I said LeBron should be.
Let's get into it, Glasses.
Yeah.
No chance.
Not why? Yeah.
This is one of his most inefficient years since his first, second, and third year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if you compare it to the rest of the players are even having a much better efficient year. So LeBron compared to LeBron, this is one of his most inefficient years. And LeBron compared to the rest of the league, this is one of his most inefficient years as far as rank compared to other players. He's not even a top 10 player right now.
I'm just saying so much of the MVP vote comes down to so much of the MVP voting just is political and it comes down to a storyline. And I feel like the voters realize that LeBron would have been MVP last season. He wouldn't have.
It was they went to the bubble, G. That's a lie. He would not have won MVP over Giannis. That is a lie.
The momentum was going his way.
The momentum wasn't going his way.
2 games before the league shut down.
And it was still never going to go to LeBron.
LeBron beat the Clippers.
Anthony Davis led the Lakers in 13 statistical categories last year. How can you say LeBron was the MVP when AD led the Lakers in 13 statistical categories last year? How?
13.
Yes, literally. Google it. Google it.
Minus that, right? Just the belief that marketing has really been the MVP push. That's not really true. Like, I don't remember the last time a player got marketed to be the MVP. Usually you had an efficient year and you did something that brought value to the NBA, right? To the highest levels that season. Consistently has been a player that's been a top 5 player when it comes to it's very much an offensive award. It's been players that have been top 5 when it comes to what is the Hollinger PER stat? Like, they've been top 5. They've usually been super gaudy on stats, super gaudy on highlights, you know what I'm saying, which makes Kawhi tough to have, even though he's had incredibly efficient years. Even this year, he's not gaudy when it comes to highlights. Highlights bring value to the NBA. It's called the most valuable player. Feel me? So I get it that we've been stuck on who's the first place player or the best player on the best team or all of this shenanigans, when realistically it's been the best offensive, the most and best efficient offensive player in the NBA that has helped his team win games and that have brought major highlights to the NBA, which is why Giannis has won it 2 years in a row. This year, Embiid kind of has been destroying highlights. It's going to be tough, but the argument for LeBron, when LeBron for the last 2 seasons hasn't had a top 5 in efficient season. Even last year, with the success of the Lakers, it's a defensive team and a team that's pretty horrible offensively. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember the last time a player that's won that award that didn't have a top 10 offensive team. You know what I mean? Like, usually the MVP leads an offense to a top 10 offense. The Lakers were not a top 10 offense last year. They're not a top 10 offense. They weren't.
What were they, like a 16th, right? They were like,
I think they were like 11th or 12th.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing that happened to Kobe Bryant in 2009 and 10 when LeBron won those, because people get kind of amnesia on that. When LeBron won those 2 MVPs, like Giannis did the last years, the same thing happened with Kobe in 2009 and 10, where people felt he was the best player, but LeBron was the most efficient offensive player, and his offense was really great. Kobe in 2010, their offense wasn't top 10 either. 2009, it's a different argument. But even LeBron winning it that year was a conversation.
Well, so much of the MVP vote does come down to the standings, too. You know, your team needs to be good, and it has to be really good to be in that conversation. They're not going to give the MVP to Bradley Beal or, you know, to someone who's balling out of control but not playing well. I'm not saying they should be. But, but a lot of this is going to come down to where the teams finish out. And the Lakers, they're
Bradley Beal catch so many strays.
They're third in the West.
Yeah, but that's not it. You still have to be really good offensively, right? You still have to be really good offensively. LeBron is not. He hasn't been efficient offensively. Like his
These are MVP numbers to you, Jason?
Those numbers aren't too bad. Those numbers,
they look better than these.
They
look better than these.
No.
Well,
lie to me. Lie to me.
Numbers.
Lie to me. They look better than these.
Hold on.
No.
You know what numbers they were missing? Games played. Embiid is about to miss another 3 weeks. He's already been missing games.
They look better than these.
That's stats for a week there. No.
Come on, man. No, these season stats. These are not weekly stats, Jason.
All right. Well,
yeah, come on.
We'll see.
You're from Cleveland, Jason. That's why you always. I just realized that you are from Cleveland.
Because LeBron should have won so many more MVPs than he's got already.
No, he shouldn't. He really shouldn't. But I feel
you're from Cleveland.
Steve Nash won 2 in a row.
He deserved them.
One of those years it was LeBron. We're not going back to that.
It was LeBron.
When?
In 2006.
Listen,
I don't know. I don't have the encyclopedia knowledge like Wilt Chamberlain, what he averaged assists 50 years ago, but I'll look it up. The year Steve Nash won in those years, it was LeBron.
I've never heard that argument before. I've never heard that argument.
I didn't know we were going there. I'll look it up for next week.
All right. No.
Glasses, what?
Historically, that award has went to a top 5 person in PER with wins and highlights. LeBron's not going to win it. Like, I think they did a good job. I think the marketing team for LeBron, you know what I mean, did a great job last year because he shouldn't even been second. It really wasn't close. Like, the gap from him and Giannis is Giannis is what LeBron was in 2009 and 10. You know what I mean? He's just like head and shoulders athletically talented and able to impose his will during the regular season, like very few players before. That's all.
You guys
you can be schemed against. You can just be like Giannis, like LeBron back then, before LeBron really expanded his shot range. Because literally the Mavericks in 2011 just went zoned up on the Heat, and LeBron, you saw 9 points in that game. Right. He couldn't shoot and affect the game in more ways on offense as he can now. Like LeBron, you don't know where LeBron's shots are coming from. Before, you could send LeBron a certain spot. Yes, but you can't stop it. Back then, you could zone up and tell him to just shoot mid-range jumpers, and he would be clanking them already, or he would just pass it off.
He just wouldn't. And that's how that type of talent, like Giannis, like LeBron, like Shaq, those type of players feed on efficiency. You know what I mean? They won't just go Kobe or Jordan on it, like, I'm going to just shoot. They feed on efficiency. So if you can make them take shots that they feel aren't efficient, they just won't shoot those shots.
All right, so you guys are very focused on the numbers and the stats, and I agree that is the most important part. But when you're talking about MVP, to me, there are these intangibles, too, that are about leadership, that are about clutch moments at the end of a game. And that's when I would take LeBron James over any of these guys at the end of a game. Leadership, intangibles. BD is joining us. We are getting heated here, BD. Okay.
The Loke, it's gonna heat up.
Yeah, it's getting heated already. It's getting heated. So get in on this right now. I'm saying they are all clowning me, saying that LeBron is, I think, going to be the MVP this season. They're saying no chance. Because if you look at the stats. Well, they're saying look at the stats. And I'm saying there's also, when it comes to MVP, there's the intangibles too, about leadership.
Defense, leadership.
End of the game.
Offensive capabilities.
Give him the ball.
Teammanship, effect on the league, effect on other players. Winning percentage now plays a part in that.
Yep.
Or someone who's having an exceptional offensive season.
Which is, I mean, all I'm telling you, Jay, is this has consistently been widened. This is what I'm saying to you. Has been consistently the MVP. I just was telling BD in Clubhouse, defense has never won anyone an MVP ever. Some of the worst defensive players to ever play basketball have won MVPs at the highest level. So again, like, I think sometimes we confuse MVP with MVP, or like the best player versus the most valuable. Value is different. You know what I'm saying? Value to the NBA is a different thing. And right now, I agree. Embiid getting hurt is going to make it tough for him. Joker has a really great chance. You know what I'm saying? But I think things need to happen for LeBron to really be in this conversation. And AD being hurt for 3 or 4 weeks doesn't help.
Come on, dude. Wait. Time out. Listen to what you said. You said LeBron James being in the MVP conversation with Joel Embiid and Jokic. Are you fucking kidding me?
I understand that LeBron James.
You cannot be kidding me, dog. You cannot be kidding me.
Listen, this same thing happened to Kobe Bryant in 2008, 9, and 10. The same thing. It happened those 3 years where we knew Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA. Clearly.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was Steve Nash back to back.
Thank you.
Right?
Why do we do this with Steve Nash MVP? He deserves
it. One of them he should have won, not two.
Well, no, didn't Amari have microfracture surgery the next year and missed 60 games, and they still kept up the same winning pace?
I know Iverson averaged 30 and 8 assists career highs that year. Shaq was the most dominant. Yeah, had the most dominant season.
If you look at, again, what I try not to do, B, is I try not to get caught up in my own assumptions of the game. And I look at historically what's been accurate. And what's been accurate is the MVP has been usually top 5 in PER, right? He's been gouty as shit on highlights. right? And he's been not just gouty on highlights, but he's also been like somebody who led his team to win. The fact that he's not a top 5 PR candidate, he won't finish top 5 without AD for another 3 to 4 weeks. I think that's probably going to end his chances.
Bro, he led the league in this. He should have been the MVP last year. Honestly.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes,
but
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you telling me Giannis should have been MVP last year?
Yes.
Why?
Literally.
Why?
Literally.
Why? And I don't hate on Giannis, but why? This dude went from playing one of the greatest all-time small forwards, right, to challenging that, to going to the point guard and leading the league in assists, 26, 10, 7 rebounds. You have to judge him last year based on being a point guard, right?
Right.
And so if you compare his point guard year to the year of Russell Westbrook, right? Very similar impact, right? Even more impact because this dude changed positions.
Yeah, I think you're making a creative conversation with something that has history to back it up. Right? Like I get it that the marketing and the idea of a playmaking.
It ain't that. He's a point guard, bro.
Just hear me. A playmaking small forward moving to a point guard is not that. I get the context.
No, it's a big difference, bro. It's a big difference.
I'm not.
It's a big difference.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Like,
it does matter.
No, it
does fucking matter.
Just listen, dude. Just let me finish. Your personal journey doesn't matter to the rest of the NBA.
It does. He changed position.
Yeah.
He led the league in assists.
And he was the 10th most efficient offensive player. That's one of his worst years ever in efficiency. They had one. This is probably one of the.
You're only concerned with John Hollinger right now and his PER.
No.
Giannis had Giannis.
Just listen. The Lakers also didn't have a top 10 offense.
Right.
They were the NBA champs. Yeah, they were the NBA champs.
He was the champ. He led the league in assists. He averaged 8. He switched position, averaged 8 rebounds at the point guard position. It was. It's not. It's but I don't care about like Glasses. I'm like you. Glasses. I'm like you. I am like you. Glasses. Glasses. I am
wilding right now. You're wild.
I'm not wilding.
No, I'm with BD on this one.
I'm not with BD.
How am I wilding, yo? Giannis
had like 30 and 12 in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and at the end of the game,
far and away had the best record in the league. It's a regular season award.
Guess what? Tie game. End of regular season. Tie game. Fourth quarter.
Who
do you want to get?
What does that got to do with who's the MVP?
Time out.
That got nothing to do with the MVP.
Time out.
No, it don't.
Time out. Let's call it timeout. Let's call it timeout.
All right.
Because Glasses challenged my history.
Oh. I did not.
He said my creativity over historical facts. Okay, so let's go. Let's go.
Let me clarify that. I'm saying you're creatively creating a narrative to push LeBron's MVP. Listen, when that's never have been anything for any player ever. Like I've never in my life heard a context around why somebody won an MVP until last year.
He wasn't the best player. He didn't have the best, most consistent year.
He wasn't the best.
He was the best overall player in the NBA.
No,
he was the most impactful player. And
he wasn't.
I'm finna give you this right now, BD, because you capped.
Hold on.
No,
he wasn't the best Laker last year.
That's not true.
The Lakers team. The Lakers team built around defense. They had the number 3 defense in the NBA.
Yes.
The best defensive player on the floor is on the Lakers team.
Yes, the two best. The two best defenders in the league. Right. Hold on. Let me stop you.
Who was the 2 best defense? Whoa, who was the 2 best?
LeBron James, homeboy.
Not last year. No.
How do you
Anthony
figure?
Davis was the runner-up for Defensive Player of
Yes,
the Year.
yes.
So the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year wasn't as good as the guy that was on his team, BD?
No, I said he was. I said they had two
okay.
great defenders.
Yeah.
When you playing basketball, just be. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something because you probably never played basketball before. When you have a point guard, you have a big man. The point guard starts in the backcourt, right? They pick up full. They are the front line of the defense. Anthony Davis is a big man. He guards the rim. He's on the back line of the defense, right? You're a big man. Time out. Anthony Davis guards the basket. Big man protecting the basket are always going to be the better defender, right? Because all shots go where? To the basket.
To the
all right.
last line of defense, right?
The small forward goes to point guard.
LeBron.
Who's LeBron?
Small forward.
LeBron was playing. LeBron, if it's not a 4 or a 5, guards the best player on the floor.
Yep.
No, sir.
Always.
No, sir.
No.
That's a lot.
No, he don't.
He did not guard Dame Lillard.
Avery Bradley was definitely the point guard.
Avery Bradley and KCP be guarding the best perimeter
He
players.
did not
Avery
guard
Bradley
Dame
didn't
Lillard.
even play last year, dog. Now look what the fuck y'all telling me. Come on, dude.
Well, before the
relax.
bubble, yeah.
No. I don't want to hear before. Look, you see.
Hold up. Just relax. One, this is a regular season award we talk about. But part 2, LeBron James did not guard Dame Lillard. He did not guard Jamal Murray. He did not guard the point guards on the other team. No, he did not. He didn't guard Jimmy Butler.
Huh?
He didn't guard Jimmy. Anthony Davis did.
Jimmy Butler self-check.
He didn't guard Dame Lillard consistently. He didn't guard
Jimmy Butler self-check, bro.
Self-checks.
Jimmy Butler self-check.
Listen, Danny Green actually guarded Dame Lillard more than LeBron James. Danny Green actually guarded Jamal Murray more than LeBron. You guys are not being honest. It was the best. It was the third best defense in the league. It's the first team All-NBA player and the first team All-Defense on the floor. That's runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. Not to mention off of screens, he's guarding point guards. Anthony Davis is guarding point guards off of screens. Stop.
That's LeBron. LeBron is doing that too.
That's not LeBron.
Dog, you talking about glue, bro. You talking about glue. You talking about intangibles. You talking about impact. You talking about deflections. You talking about IQ. So having that defensive player, you gotta have a web, right? You gotta have a web, and LeBron is that web.
AD is the web, but I feel you.
AD is not the web. AD is the spider. AD is the spider, bro.
All right, hey, Glasses.
What do spiders do? They spin the web.
Glasses. Let me ask you this: if we were just doing a hypothetical draft, right? Like one season, okay, and the goal is to win a championship. You can have the first pick, any NBA player.
He taking Ben Simmons.
Who do you want? Who do you want on your team?
Ben Simmons.
One player this year. It's not like you're not drafting a rookie for the future. I'm talking 1 year. This year, who do you want?
Kawhi Leonard.
Who are you building around?
Who?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
I'm gonna build around the best person that's probably gonna create a two-way situation.
Hey, he's a great player, but we can get into the Clippers conversation. Like Kawhi ain't winning a championship right now.
You didn't listen. Again, it's not the difference between LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. It's the difference between Paul George and Anthony Davis.
No, that's not true. Yeah. That is not true. Once again, that's
true.
Not true.
It
is because no. I'm telling you this. If you change LeBron and Kawhi, right, you're gonna get incredible results. But what are you gonna lose?
Nothing.
Your playmaker,
leadership,
your point guard. You're gonna lose your playmaker, your point guard, the leadership, right? Yeah. Kawhi can cover. Incredible, exceptional defender, incredible, exceptional offensive player, but he's not a playmaker. You gotta watch the game, bro. Me and you gotta watch the game today, so I can show you that Kawhi Leonard does not pass the ball. So him playing with AD is not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work to the capacity that you think is going to work.
You would build the team.
It's going to work.
No. It's only one ball, and there's only one person to be the dog. You have to have one person. You have to. Yeah, you need stops, but you still need one person to be the dog.
But I'm telling you, Anthony Davis
and Kawhi Leonard is not flourishing with the Clippers because he does not have a point guard, and he is not a playmaker. He needs a playmaker around him to take some of the pressure off, so he can be a high octane scorer.
You keep having the offensive conversations, but the problem
defensive too.
But that's the difference. Anthony Davis defense versus Paul George defense is night and day. And Paul George can defend.
Yeah, but you're talking about Anthony Davis, who's a rim protector, versus another wing player. There you go again. There you go again.
But he's not
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a freak of nature, first and foremost.
Hands down. Not just a rim.
But
he's not Dwight
at the end of the day, he is a rim protector. First.
No, he's not.
Get the fuck out of here,
not bro. Tom, how many times have you seen AD cover guards?
He does it all the time. He was guarding Jimmy last year. LeBron wasn't. He was. AD is definitely.
And Jimmy Butler had the greatest NBA Finals performance of all time.
No.
Wait, hold on. Jimmy Butler was getting triple doubles in the finals. I was watching the same NBA Finals.
He was going off in the games they won. I mean, he was going off though. Jimmy Butler in the finals.
And then what they do, they made that.
No, Jimmy Butler is called. I'm fucking around.
They made that switch and put Anthony Davis on that man. That man had like 14 points.
Because Jimmy Butler don't have offense like that, bro.
And 40 in the game.
Look, BD.
I don't care. He still don't have offense like that. He still don't have O like that. He don't have O like that.
I feel you, but at the same time, you got to give that man some credit for the man.
I give AD all the credit, bro. AD is 7 fucking feet. That's what you guys are failing to recognize. Anthony Davis is a 7-footer. He will block your shot at the rim. Yes, he can cover guards on a switch, right? But if a guard drives to the hole, what is he gonna do? Block the shot. Rim protector. Okay, so don't compare Anthony Davis to Paul George. One is a rim protector. One is a fucking guard and a wing. One is the defensive player of the year. One is a good basketball player, right? You put Kawhi and Rudy Gobert, and now you can say something.
Yeah, but who would you rather have?
No, they don't. You know why? Because Kawhi Leonard does not play make.
But who fault is that though? Who fault is that though? That's more so a roster discussion than Kawhi.
You don't need him to play make.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you
don't.
They
need him to do that. Dog, they need him to do that on the Clippers, and that's why they suffer.
No, the point is he shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. You
no,
shouldn't exactly.
They are relying on Kawhi Leonard to be their premium scorer.
Who fault is that though? That's not Kawhi's fault.
One shot blocker. That's like somebody say LeBron be our shot blocker.
That's not true because he did. No. The Clippers thought that Kawhi was going to do what he did in Toronto. Right?
He wasn't the playmaker in Toronto.
Right. But he made the plays. But he made plays, right?
No, they played with the Clippers.
Timeout. Having those two dudes, right, took pressure off of him. If you give Kawhi, right, the same situation now is in the Clippers. Now he's the guy. He should be able to make the plays, right? If he's a playmaker, no.
Not if you're
That's what I. So that is the value, suckers, of LeBron James to Kawhi Leonard.
James also is not anywhere near in the same world.
In the league. AD is better than LeBron.
Minus the narratives, right? Minus the top 5 player. You're talking about a more efficient offensive player another world type of defensive player. You don't need your players to become everything. You need them to do what they do well, right? The year that Toronto won the championship, Kyle Lowry averaged 9 assists. He wasn't the playmaker. You don't need him to be the playmaker. You need him to do what he does great.
You know who is the play? You know who's the playmaker on Toronto that
Kyle
year?
Lowry.
No, Kawhi Leonard.
No, Kawhi
Yes.
Leonard may play.
Yes.
But he's not the
No.
playmaker, BD.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He's not the playmaker, B. He may play the difference.
Oh my gosh. He was the playmaker. He was coming down the court. He was saucing. Kyle Lowry is not a playmaker. He's not.
Well,
He's not a playmaking point guard. He is a fucking scoring point guard.
No.
Kyle Lowry is a scoring point guard, a defending point guard, right? He is a defensive point guard. He is a leader. He is not the person that comes down and come on, yo, watch the game. I'm done with y'all. Y'all go watch the game. He was balling when they won game 6. When they won game 6, he was scoring.
Listen,
when Toronto wins, Kyle Lowry scores. Van Fleet is a scoring point guard. They are not playmakers, buddy.
And Scottie Pippen is not a scoring small forward. He makes plays. You can't ask him to be something he's not.
Scottie Pippen is a playmaker, bro.
I agree, but that don't, again, the proverbial argument of scorer versus playmaker is not the conversation. You're saying one is better because they're a playmaker.
All I'm saying is Kawhi is an exceptional scorer. Right,
and the
but
greatest
he's
wing
not
defender
near
and
the playmaker that LeBron James is, and so that makes a difference. Now, when you go to defense and defending, Kawhi is not that much of an exceptional defender than LeBron James. Then LeBron James value to him being a playmaker.
Again. The efficiency of how he scores the ball, right? Kawhi Leonard is a much more skilled scorer with a much more variety of ways.
Scorer. LeBron James is a playmaker.
Playmaker,
sure. And a scorer.
Yeah.
Right?
So listen.
Kawhi Leonard can score.
So let me ask you a better question.
He is a high efficient scorer.
Here's a better question.
He is a high efficient defender.
Here's a better question.
He is not.
You was going to ask me a question.
You got the headphones on, I'm crying.
Because he is in the Clippers situation, and they put him in a position to be the lead playmaker. And
he's not a playmaker, though, BD. It's nothing, but B, he don't got to be. That's not his role.
Let's talk about the Clippers for a second, because this time last year, the Clippers were my pick to win the title. I think a lot of people thought they were the favorites, maybe even over the Lakers if you went back to, February, March of last year. The Clippers, no one is talking about them this year. Pavi, you go to Clipper games. You're covering the team. You follow them well. We've been talking about Kawhi, his abilities, but also maybe some of his weaknesses. What can the Clippers do? If you were the Clippers GM, Glasses or Pavi, what would you do? They gotta shake something up. They got enough talent.
They really don't.
I trade for Lonzo Ball. I trade Lou Will and something else to get Lonzo Ball. You need a playmaker.
Okay.
That's really all you need a playmaker.
I agree. They need a guard. I like Alonzo.
And you need a big guard that can defend. A big guard that can defend. Not just a guard, a big guard. Because you're gonna run into big guards on the West.
But what pieces do the Clippers have? I mean, Lou Will? Does someone
It's a Lou Will. You got about 2 or 3 pieces because it's not like they're banking on what Lonzo is. Lonzo is not a high value guy that they're like, hey, he's worth this many pieces.
Nah, I think
that's the trade.
I think that with the way Lonzo has been playing, if I'm New Orleans and I have sense, I think that I want to hold on to Lonzo. I think Lonzo pairs well with what's up?
So, and if that's not the trade, then I go after Frank Nitty.
That's fair. The issue with the Clippers is that they don't have that much to give up, and they're also kind of cap strapped. But my thing with the Clippers is I just think they really just need to defend better, and I don't understand why they can't defend better. I just don't get it. Now, granted,
because they're losing the matchup at the point guard.
They are. The backcourt, literally, guards come into LA and cook them all the time. Yeah, Pat. Even though I like Pat, and I think Pat is arguably at some points and times been their best defender this year, he's still small. Like he's like 5'10", 5'11". So if it's a guard that comes in like 6'4", it's really only so much he can do. But I mean, yeah, I think the Ntilikina trade would be good. Also, Rondo. Rondo is like Atlanta isn't playing well. Maybe you could they can't I know people talk about Kyle Lowry. It's impossible unless you do a 3-team scenario because you had to give up like Morris, Pat, Luka. You had to give up half of your team to go do that. So something small like a Rondo. What's up?
I like the Rondo idea. I thought they should have signed him in the offseason.
I did too.
I think they tried to, and I think it was something else that happened. I think they tried to.
Yeah, because that would have made a lot of sense. Just stay in LA, but he proved his value in the playoffs.
And what's killer to me is back to these same conversations, and I hate to go backwards, but even with the Lakers, it just got lost in how great that team was defensively, how great Dwight Howard was, how great Rajon Rondo was, how great Danny Green was, how great Avery Bradley was.
KCP he stepped up in the playoffs.
I'm saying all the other guys defensively were so special, and we really give credit to those two players as a centerpiece, and it's like it'll show this year. It'll show this year. Like it didn't start off showing, but when it's said done, as the league wears down on you, and people start figuring out exactly who you are, and you weren't what you were last year, you'll see it. So, but the Clippers last year and this year, you know what I mean, they needed a point guard. I agree with Baron. I think Kawhi Leonard is not a playmaker. That's not he's probably the greatest wing defender ever. He's one of the most efficient offensive scorers we've seen. You know what I mean? Like, period. He's a fantastic scorer. He's just not a playmaker. That doesn't mean he's incapable of making plays at the highest level.
Yeah.
But you can't consistently ask him to do what's not his strength throughout the game. You can't ask Michael Jordan to consistently make plays throughout the game. It's just not their game. So you combine them with a talented point guard who could kind of get the offense going on those moments when things go flat, because that's what happened to the Clippers. They had those flat moments. I told Pavy before the year started, I told Pavy and TPJ, I said there were going to be flat spots in the Clippers offenses, and that's the thing that scared me. Like, they was going to have these flat spots, and I didn't know how that would work out, you know, because eventually the defense. But when you're on the West and you're playing against deadly backcourts, you're playing against a Steph Curry consistently, Dame Lillard consistently, Jamal Murray consistently, all James Harden last year, all guys who could cause havoc. Even Donovan Mitchell, like guys that can
drops a mixtape on him every time.
Ridiculous point guards that can score the ball.
Let me throw two names out. Guys who might be available. They're rumored to be available. Potentially could help the Clippers. George Hill, does he have enough left to help them? I mean, he's available in OKC, coming off an injury, point guard.
No.
And Victor Oladipo in Houston.
How they gonna get him though?
Houston wants. I think they want out of that anyway because they're rebuilding. So you could probably get him for cheap. Potentially. I don't know if he could help.
Yeah, but he has $20 million. I think he's getting paid $22 million. So you had to attach like Pat Bev and something else. And they will probably want picks, which the Clippers don't really have any of.
They don't. They gave him away. Yeah.
And I don't think Vic is the playmaker they need in those flat spots. I think the players are – I think Lonzo Ball is the cheapest action you'll have. Like, I disagree with that. I don't think New Orleans really recognizes Lonzo value. I think
he's been playing great.
Yeah,
he's really been playing great. Lonzo's hitting threes consistently from the corner now, too.
Yeah, but Ingram and Zion are kind of where – they're not going to want to pay Lonzo.
Right.
You got to pay. You got to pay enough people. So I think I'd be doing a lot of things. I think you need to get a big guard who can make plays and defend. And I think the cheapest version of it is a Frank Ntilikina or Lonzo Ball. It don't get cheaper than that, or Rajon Rondo. But then again, it's only so much Rajon Rondo is going to be able to do with Donovan Mitchell at this point in his career. It's only so much even Rajon Rondo is going to be able to do with Dame Lillard at this point in his career. It's only so much Rajon Rondo is going to be able to do with Jamal Murray. You know what I mean? It's just tough right now. So really, you need a young guard that can get you through those moments offensively when you have those flat spots. You know what I'm saying? And still guard on the other end. I think Lonzo is a perfect candidate. I think they want a little bit something special for Lonzo. I think they would be smart to give it to him.
Yeah, I like that idea. I haven't heard that. I know that Lonzo's name has been coming up in a lot of trade rumors that New Orleans might want to get off of his contract and move on. He could be someone that could definitely help the Clippers because they need something. They're not in that conversation. They just lost last night, ironically, to Lonzo and the Pelicans got destroyed. They can't mess around. Kawhi Leonard is about to be a free agent after this season. So I don't think he's looking to leave, but the window's now, and you know Steve Ballmer is willing to go high into that luxury tax, pay whatever it takes to get the ultimate goal. And seeing the Lakers and them winning it all and gunning for a repeat, Steve Ballmer is not happy with that. So I just feel like the Clippers are this sleeping giant waiting, and they got to do something.
Again, I think the backcourt is the last part. I think the playmaking was the issue last year outside of the defense in the backcourt. For me, I think if they make that switch, a simple switch, you'll see everything change instantly. You know what I mean? And you'll notice it real fast. And they'll be able to see the best of them. But again, like I said, back to that point where you was asking me if I was starting a team in 2021, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the separation. I think Kawhi Leonard is clearly a better player than LeBron James in 2021. The difference is Anthony Davis is not – Paul George is not Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis last year had a top 5 offensive season. Obviously, he was the second best defensive player. Feel me? People thought he should have been the best. I think that's the separation. I think when you combine it with that, then you have a whole different level of consistency, reliability, and just literally diversity, and PG. And that's said a lot because PG is a really great player.
Then Anthony Davis should have been the MVP.
A lot of people say that.
A lot of people did say that.
If it wasn't LeBron for changing positions, then it definitely was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but
it was definitely Anthony Davis.
For years,
so let's make that. Let's make that. Or I don't want to make that argument because we can keep going. All I'm saying is it should have been a Laker. That was the MVP.
For years, we didn't give it to Golden State, right? When they had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, because we said, well, they cancel each other out. All of a sudden, that theory goes out the window.
Right.
Who won it the year with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant?
Somebody Harden. Russ and Harden.
Russ won it and Harden won it.
Yeah, Russ and Harden.
Exceptional. You had to have an exceptional offensive season.
So Giannis,
right?
Giannis 32 and 14 is not exceptional?
Yeah, it is. But he got the MVP. No, but the whole conversation and the argument was Giannis being a 3-time MVP. And I said, once you win the MVP and you get bumped in the first round or the second round, that should lower your value. I don't give a fuck what you like, how dope your stats are. That's just saying that you're a regular season stat guy and you going for the MVP. You know what I mean? And then you get it again. Time out. Then you get it again, Glasses. Hold on. So now he's back to back, right? Because he had an even better statistical year, right? And now Pavi, and this is and now Pavi and TP, that's how we got into this whole thing. They said, well, Giannis should get it for a third year. And I said, man, I can't rock with the most valuable player if you keep getting bumped. Right.
Didn't happen to LeBron in 2009, you know?
Time out.
But I'm just asking, didn't he get bumped at the same actual
Who won it?
Same
Who
round?
won it? Who won it?
LeBron won 2009 and
Who won it? Who won it?
In 2011.
And who are the MVP candidates? I mean, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Greatness, bro.
So you said,
that's what I'm saying.
You got it. You should have won it. So I'm asking, should he have? I'm asking you.
No, he had an exceptional season, bro.
Like Giannis.
He didn't have the best team. He had an exceptional season, right?
Like
he didn't have the best team, but he had the most exceptional season, and he got the most out of his team, which had an exceptional season. right?
Like Giannis.
Yes. But at the same time, no, I'm not. What I'm saying, Glasses, is they talking about 3 times in a row. My whole thing is once you get bumped, he didn't come back and win it the next year.
No, Derrick Rose won it.
Okay. And LeBron had a phenomenal year. Right? But you got bumped. You got bumped.
Mm-hmm.
You got bumped.
He also went to Miami.
You got bumped. Dirk Nowitzki had an exceptional year. He got bumped. He didn't come back and he had a great year the next year. Nobody said nothing. Nobody was like, oh man, he should be the MVP because no, bro. When you get the MVP, that's like, yo, we picked you. You're the most valuable player. You should be there, at least in the Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. The next year, you should not be the MVP. You should finish in the top 5, but we should not give you the MVP. We should give that to somebody else who's having another exceptional year. You know why? Because if we give it to you and you get bumped, right, it devalues the MVP.
Yeah. History has shown us. So history has shown us.
Karl Malone, MVP, Finals. Charles Barkley, MVP, Finals. A few MVPs get bumped early, right? But they don't become back-to-back MVPs, sir.
Like LeBron and Giannis.
LeBron was back-to-back MVP?
Back-to-back.
Yes.
And Kobe won back-to-back championships. He never made it to the finals either one of those years. He got bumped actually in the same exact round Giannis did. Eastern Conference Finals, the second round. But so by that same
No. Giannis didn't make it. Giannis got bumped in the first round, bro.
No, it is.
Oh, sorry. Second round. Second round both times.
But no, he got the Eastern Conference Finals the last year.
Who
he lost in the conference finals? The Raptors.
The Raptors
lost in 6.
All right. Well, I'm glad we've gotten into this. What, you got another point, Glasses? You said many points. All right.
But last point. So history shows us by the same standards, the winner is either going to be Embiid or Joker.
But Embiid getting hurt, I think that might hurt his chances. So
why you say that? Why do you say that?
He's going to be out another 3 weeks.
Why does history show us that they should get the MVP? Because their team's in first place?
Because their teams are going to end up in the top 3 on both sides, and they're both having the best efficient offensive seasons.
Got it. I ain't been tapped in. Yeah. I ain't been tapped in. I ain't really tapped in.
All right, we're all getting Joker jerseys when he wins the
bonus
MVP.
For MVP because he be killing in fantasy.
Hey, Glasses, have you gotten in on NBA Top Shot? You know about that, the NFT game?
You know what I was starting to look into it where you buy the little things. I kind of thought about that, but
the moments,
the NFT things, like I've created an NFT of some stuff. I'm in it, but I really laugh at it. It's weird to me. It's a dope, different generation, crazy shit.
It is crazy. I mean, someone told me about Top Shot back in December, and I was like, this is stupid. Why would I pay money for a YouTube clip? I didn't think it was stupid back then. It could have made a lot of money, but I did get in on it about a month ago, which still was earlier than most people. So I got another pack of NBA Top Shot that we're going to pop open today right here live with you guys.
Nice.
That's right. So here it is. This is
let's see what it is.
This was a pre-order. So here we go. We're going to open this pack right now.
Last time we didn't get nothing, dude. Last time we got some bullshit.
We got Rudy Gobert dunking on the 2-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis.
You got the defensive player.
Listen, y'all sleeping on that one, Baron. If the Jazz do what they should this year, that's going to be worse.
Okay, good. Well, I'll show you my cards after this. I'll show you what I got last week. I got Rudy Gobert. I got a Joel Embiid. Actually, I got your dream pack. I got a Joel Embiid. And
he's gonna post it 100 times anyway, so he's gonna post all week, every single card he gets. Let's go, open them babies. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
When can we get a premium pack? Top Shot, you should be sponsoring this shit. Top Shot and giving us packs.
Top Shot should send us something.
Here
we go. These are our 3 cards. Where you want to start, PD?
Go ahead, Glasses. Right? You the guess.
Glasses, left, right, or middle?
Left, dog.
Left, all right.
Left.
You just left to right, just like we're reading. Here we go. First up, we got from
only because he the low.
Oh, James Wiseman, rookie. This is good. A rookie card. This is real nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, James Wiseman dunk. You want a rookie, obviously, and I mean Wiseman. He was. Yeah,
I like Wiseman.
Might be runner-up potentially in the Rookie of the Year convo. Okay, so we got that. Where are we going next, Glasses? You want to go in order? You want to go middle? Or you want to go to the right?
You got to go to the right if you're in Los Angeles.
Okay, we're going to the right. We're going to the right. Here we go. Next up, we got Bradley Beal. Okay. Woo. It's a nice move. Against the in a rare Wizards win earlier in the season. That was a nice move.
I'll take that.
I mean,
I take that.
I look like Baron Davis though too.
That's right.
That was a bop. That was a bop. That was a bop.
Sounds good. All right, our third and final moment. Let's make it another good one.
Giannis. Come on, Giannis.
Oh, Dante DiVincenzo layup. Okay. Hey, nothing gets me going.
It's a good move though.
Nothing gets me going like a Dante DiVincenzo
That's
layup.
dope. When he become like somebody's GM in 20 years or something like that.
That's right. My top GM.
Hey, spit all this water out.
James Wiseman.
You know how the game go. You know we keeping it all the way live on Slic. You know how the game go. Shit.
When he become Mitch Kupchak.
You know what I mean? When he drafting my son and shit. Signing my son.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
That shit gonna be.
Hey, not a bad pack. Thank you. Thanks for bringing me that. Good luck with that James Wiseman. I think that might be the most valuable moment we got there.
The other one is going to be the one for you.
The Bradley Beal?
No. From the other pack
Rudy Gobert.
The Jazz are serious, way more serious than everybody could imagine. They remind me of the Bad Boy Pistons, the way they play, and they have the type of offensive firepower off the bench to keep their offense going when they have
they can get buckets. They can find a bucket.
It's like when the Bad Boys got Mark Aguirre. Like everybody gives all the credit to Zeke or Dumars, and it's like
Mark Aguirre put you in that block,
bro. And
then Benny Johnson.
This is a dude that averaged 30 in the league at one time, and you had him on your
season before.
His offense.
Who is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Aguirre.
You talking about Mark Aguirre? Oh. I thought you were talking about somebody from
Utah.
I thought you were talking about somebody from Utah. I was about to say.
Benny Johnson, that's Jordan Clarkson on the squad.
Whoa. Time out. No. Hey, bro.
I'm saying for the Utah Jazz.
Hey, bro. Okay. Similarities, bro. Similarities.
Not quite.
We're saying role and
responsibility. Not
role. He's a role. Yes.
Yeah.
I like Jordan Clarkson in that microwave, bro. But Bogdanovich, I like him in that microwave role too, because he always like a wild card for them. You know what I mean? Like he can get hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like the Pistons where their starting lineup didn't really have all the offensive firepower. They had a decent amount. They depended on defense, but they had the people to come off the bench to just in case when things got flat. If Donovan not going,
you can get a bucket.
If Donovan not going, if Mike can't get nothing, if Bogdan can't get nothing, let's bring in Jordan Clarkson. This month, one of these 4 or 5 motherfuckers
gonna score.
Yeah, they can get some money.
I also like the Ersan pick up a little bit too.
The who?
Ersan
Ilyasova. That's a good pickup. But here go Pavi. You on that note, Pavi. Hey, Pavi said I'm excited to see the Washington Wizards play because I'm high on Raul Neto.
That was like the fourth person I mentioned. That was like the fourth person I mentioned.
I said, what are you most looking forward to the second half of the season?
He said Raul Neto.
Raul Neto.
When did they pick him up, Pat?
Like a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, because like I'm just not
actually. That actually.
Here go Glasses. Here you go,
I
glasses.
think I'm gonna bet some money on
He
Utah
acting like
Wins here.
Ilyasova just gonna come in.
Now that the Ilyasova pickup, you're going to bet the Jazz because the Ilyasova tips it over.
Well, because the Jazz win games with defense, right? They have an offense that's probably overrated.
Ilyasova can knock down shots though.
Yeah,
and he hustle.
And
he compliment Favors, and he's a great compliment to Favors and Ingles. Yeah.
And if you want to put him at small ball 5, you
can. See, there you go, Pop.
All right. Well, it's that time of the show when we start talking about Ersan Ilyasova. You know we got to get the hell out of here. So thank you,
and
guys.
And Ilyasova Top Shot packs right now.
Yeah, Top Shot.
Get that Ilyasova Top Shot pack. That's my dog, though. He be getting down. That's a good pick, dude. That's a good pick.
That Gobert is gonna matter. I think this is the year.
Okay. All right. He's put his money behind Gobert and definitely not betting on LeBron to be MVP. We already know that. That's how he feels. Okay.
Not right now.
Glasses, thank you for joining us here on Who Got Game. Patty, as always. Bart Oatmeal, BD, good to see you, man. We will see you next week for another edition of Who Got Game. Until then, stay safe, everybody. Have fun. Enjoy some basketball. And we will see you here, same time, same place, next week. We're out.
On the streets when it's safe. Focus on the rap game, not the flow, I got it mastered. Ain't nobody fucking